Hey guys, King of Charm is here to be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. Today I bring to you this sweet 5-0 with the best Slowpoke team in the Element Cup. This Slowpoke team ranked overall at number 2, but I like it a lot, especially with Salandits running around in the lead. Yes, you can, and I've somehow seen 3 of them this season. I don't know why people are trying so hard, but one of your deterrents are Confusion Roosers, and it's hilarious just how effective Slowpoke is. In this shoutcast, I will show you how to use Slowpoke and the 2-shield Ducklett strat to your advantage, and how you can ABA the unholy crap out of your opponent to a victory. But yes, this is the strongest rated Slowpoke team, and at number 2, it will take your opponent's soul, and especially those Salandits you hate oh so much like I do, because I don't have one. I want to use one for content, but you know what? I'm not going to bust my balls in order to get one, and yeah, there's only one person I know that's gotten one legitly, but it's only because their kid doesn't play too much. And what they do is they always go out walks with their kid, and somehow their kid did hatch one. Funny story though, they did somehow bribe their kid to part with their Salandit by giving them a shiny. And they were already best friends anyways, because they kept their, or not best friends, they were like great friends, but he was willing to give the dust as long as he gives them the shiny. So only one person I know has gotten it legitly, and yes, and he doesn't even PvP, so yeah, that's the funny part. But before we get started, this is going to be my therapist mental health tip of the day. If you want to skip this, all you have to do is go to the description and then go straight to the battles. However, for those of you that would like free psychoeducation from something very, very expensive in this world, and shouldn't be as expensive in my opinion, and as the opinion of other professionals, this is going to be coping skills for anger. So, how many of you want to throw your phone, or used to throw your phone halfway across the room because you lost in Go Badly or because life pissed you off? This guy right here more times than once. So for this worksheet, coping skills for anger, this describes 6 techniques that can work for managing anger. Some of these skills can help prevent or minimize explosive anger, such as triggers and warning signs. Other skills are intended to take control of anger, such as diversions, timeouts, and deep breathing. So each one, it's a pretty good instructional of each and every one. It's very effective, so you can apply this to Pokemon Go, whichever you want, or just throughout your daily life. So I've used this coping skill with one of my clients, and I've definitely used some of these skills in order to get to really used to how broken PvP is, and the fact that it may never get fixed, or all these dumb things are going to affect it, or you're going to lose to something really dumb, or you misplayed or something like that. And so I've already processed and made coping mechanisms for said events to happen, and now I'm definitely much more grounded and much more I'm good at PvP, but not just good at PvP, the mental part of PvP too. But that being said, that is my therapist mental health tip for the day, and this is a 5-0 with the most powerful, the top, the best Slowpoke team in the Element Cup, and let's get started. Alright, here are the battles. So like I mentioned, the first 4 battles are picked from flexibility, so you could see some different leads and different combinations, and the 5th one is the 5-0 set. But it's still pretty nuts. As you see here, we get Cottonee versus Slowpoke. I like this one because this is a perfect example of what you do when you face Cottonee. You're going to break a shield with Psyshock, and then you're going to switch into Vulpix. You're either going to try to catch a Seed Bomb, or you're just going to switch immediately. It's up to you. Normally, I'll just switch right away, though. Now you want to get like those 1 or 2 extra quick attacks so that you can go ahead and body slam your opponent to oblivion. So you're literally going, you're going to just rack up the body slams, and you're going to like literally elbow drop the unholy crap out of your poor freaking opponent. You're gonna be like HBK jumping off the top rope a bazillion times trying to absolutely annihilate your opponent. In this case, we get a Seal. So the thing about Seal is that even though it does have Lick, it's not running Ice Shard, so we don't resist it. It takes a while to get to Aqua Tail. How many exactly? I do not know. I don't count 1-turn moves. I really don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to double shield. My idea here is I should be able to go ahead and just fully farm down this Seal. They're going to come out with shield advantage. However, I wouldn't switch, and at the same time, I have a loaded Vulpix. We're going to fire this Weather Ball. I should be able to get 2 Weather Balls off here, and then this should break a shield and or wipe out this Cottonee. So as you see, we break the second shield, and then we're going to go ahead and Weather Ball this poor freaking Cottonee to death. And then what's going to happen is that all we really have to do is send in Ducklett, and whatever's in the back is going to get hit by a Suburban. And for some odd reason, that Cottonee did not die, but that's okay. Somehow it lived a full Weather Ball, but that's okay. I'll take that 1 extra little bit of energy I'll get from this wing attack. Grass Knot goes through, this won't KO, and we get a Vulpix. And so, Vulpix, even if it got to a Body Slam, it actually won't KO Ducklett at this range. I have a pretty high B Ducklett, however, Ducklett in the yellow isn't going to get wiped out by one Body Slam. We're going to be able to get to this Brave Bird, and all we're going to hit you is this Hurricane 69420 Suburban is going to hit you like... So the reason I use this reference, you get a Suburban is a car. The phrase hitting like a truck. So hitting someone with a Suburban, it's like getting hit by a truck. Brave Bird does 130 damage overall base damage. That's nuts. So it will kill most of the things that you will see in front of you. And most people will top left. Unless it's that opponent, which somehow they felt like they could find a win condition, even though the fact I still had 2 whole Mons left to take out my opponent. You get the mirror match here. When you get the mirror match, you have to try to win CMP. So it's either who wins CMP or whoever switches first. What you can do is you could do as much damage as possible, leave your Slowpoke in the red, and then send in Ducklett or Vulpix. Normally I'll send in Vulpix to farm down Slowpoke. And like I mentioned, it's whoever switches first. Our opponent switches into Execute, and then it's Shadow Execute. Yep, I saw like the little Shadow Flames, and I was like, is that a Shadow Execute? So in this instance, I'm going to send in Ducklett. They're going to get a move off, that's perfectly fine. If they boost here, that's going to suck, but we should be able to farm down this Execute. And then we're going to have all this energy loaded. I know they have the Slowpoke, and they have one more Mon in the back. However, with all this energy, I can possibly get to do Brave Bird. So my opponent's going to use a shield either way, or I can beat and then Brave Bird either way. I have a lot of play here. Our opponent sends in the Slowpoke. I'm going to fire this Bubble Beam. They're probably not going to shield. They're like, there's no way this dude's going straight to the Burb. And sure enough, they call it. However, I still have a quarter of a Slowpoke. I don't know exactly what that HP is. And I still have a whole Vulpix in the back. Slash Shot goes through. I'm also thinking because my opponent sent in their water and the grass type, they probably have a fire type in the back. I'm going to fire this Brave Bird, and then I'm going to switch in a Vulpix right away, and it's actually much better than I thought because it's a Cottonee. So it's an ABB team, but we have a whole Vulpix, and Cottonee isn't going to kill a Vulpix, even up a shield, just because of the fact that Charm does so less damage. Charm is fire resist Charm. That's basically it. We got Legend on Legend action, and we got Vulpix onto Slowpoke. I don't like Vulpix in the lead because it loses against a lot of combinations, and especially the Shadow version. While the Shadow version does do a lot of damage overall, the issue is with the Shadow version is that you don't have a lot of bulk. So my opponent swaps in. I'm assuming this is another Slowpoke, or they caught it into a Psych-type Pokemon, and it's a Slowpoke. So I'm going to stay in here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to get to one more Psyshock. I should be able to get to Psyshock before my opponent fires a move, or they'll win CMP, and my worst case scenario comes true, they win CMP. But what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to shield. I'm going to shield, fire my Psyshock, hoping I break a shield by my opponent, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to send in Vulpix to go ahead and farm down, or they're going to not shield this, and I can send in Ducklett and then snipe them down as you see here. This is still kind of rough. They have shield advantage. I have my Ducky, but my Vulpix does not beat this Ducky. I'm going to fire a Brave Bird through shields though. And you know what? Maybe my opponent, this is literally my win condition right now. I have to Suburban through shields, and I'm going to hit the Suburban, and it goes through 2 shields. And I manifest the win condition out of my freaking behind, and my opponent fires a Brave Bird, but it's already too late. Vulpix comes in. At this point though, all I literally have to do is just freaking smackdown, lay the smackdown on this poor Shadow Vulpix, and then wing attack my way to victory. I can send my own Vulpix. I don't have to fire any moves, and then I should just be able to quick attack down for the W. My opponent will take those shields to the Shadow Realm with them on to the next season to go Battle League, which is Season 12. That was mean, but that was a sweet battle. As you see here, I love the fact that Ducklett or Ducklett 2 Shield in general is able to take back switch and a lot of different combinations for you. This is a battle against Ducklett. As you see, Ducklett actually beats you, but it's not a bad matchup. In order for Ducklett to beat you in this matchup, they have to hit you with a Brave Bird. Air Lace won't kill you. Sometimes your opponent will actually try to bait with Bubble Beam, so I typically actually don't shield Slowpoke. We grab a shield, that's what you want to do. You should be able to get to a side shot before they get to a move, unless you lose a turn, from what I figured out. I've lost a turn before, and they got an extra one through, and I was like, what the heck's going on? In this case, my opponent does debate me with Bubble Beam. I normally don't shield, but in this instance, I do. You could do it either way. I'm going to show you the way you could do it with it. And as you see, they fire Brave Bird. But this is good for you. I'm going to send in Ducklett, and all we're going to do is we're going to farm it down, or our opponent's going to swap out, as you see here, to this Litleo. Litleo is a very interesting pick. That's incredibly spicy. Here's the problem, though. Firefang is resisted against Vulpix, and we're going to fire these body slams like no tomorrow. I'm not going to shield this, though. I want to save my shield for my Ducklett, Even if Vulpix goes down, I should be able to farm this thing down. As you see here, because Crunch doesn't get stabbed, I should be able to get this body slam. And then all I have to do is literally hit the freaking Brave Bird of Destiny against my opponent's back row. And that's game. As you see here, they send in Ducklett. I should be able to farm down their Ducklett. I will have to shield. However, I have so much energy here that one Brave Bird is going to effectively end my opponent's life. Or what I can do here is try to 2000 IQ my opponent and force them to overtap and fire this Bubble Beam. As you see here, that works out, but it didn't even matter. I could have shielded, and then as you see here, one Brave Bird will wipe out this Cottonee. Even if it didn't go that way around, I still have a shield. So I shield that. A Brave Bird -1 will still do heavy damage. And for those of you that hate Salandits, and those of you that are willing to cheat so hard just to gain an advantage in the freaking Element Cup, you will love this shoutcast. We get Salandit onto Slowpoke. This is why Salandits are scary in the Element Cup, even if you do have one, because there are still Psychic types out there. Mainly Execute or Slowpoke. As here, they swap into Execute, and then we're just going to send in Vulpix. You generally want to send in Vulpix just because Vulpix is able to get to Weather Ball so quickly, especially since you're using a normal one. If you use a Shadow one, this isn't going to work. This is why I use normal Vulpix. We grab the second shield, but this is exactly what we want. We want to save the shield for Ducklett, and now we set Ducklett up for 2 Brave Birds. I'm going to shield this, but now I can farm down this Execute, and our opponent, it's game over. This is why I love the Ducklett 2 shield strat with this team, and as you see here, with energy advantage, Ducklett can effectively wipe your opponent from the face of the earth, and in this instance, we're going to wipe this Salandit from the face of the freaking planet with this freaking Brave Bird. Take this, all you cheers and tryhards out there are just literally, it's Go Battle League. It's not that serious. If you're willing to trade a low-level account or buy it off eBay so you can get an advantage in the Element Cup, pathetic. And I just sent that freaking Salandit to the 69th circle of hell to the Shadow Realm, whichever one you want to call it. All we have to do is go get this Dupider. We sent in Slowpoke. Slowpoke fires Psyshock, and then it just farms down for the W. There's no way my opponent had any play after I wiped out that poor Salandit, and as you see here, we manifest a sweet 5-0. I hope you all enjoyed the battles. This is the most powerful Slowpoke team, and it will do wonders for you in the Element Cup. GG's. Again, I hope y'all enjoyed the 5-0. And that's game. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles, especially that last one where you saw Salandit get absolutely wiped out by the Brave Bird from hell. I love my Ducklett. My Ducklett has Brave Bird. It's so many things to victory for me. My god, it's gotten me a lot of W's in the Element Cup. But the Element Cup it's not as hard as people put out to be or as RPS. If you're really good with energy management, you can use the very strong pick like Vulpix or Brave Bird 2 shield strats. There's a lot of different, well, the particular strategies I like to use. They're actually really freaking good. And it shows that you have better energy or shield management versus your opponent. Or you can etch out win conditions from the surface of hell because of debuffing / taking advantage of switching out Pokemon because they're debuffed by Bubble Beam, and then absolutely eviscerating them with Body Slams, etc. So, love this team. Like, the Element Cup is arguably the least RPS out of all of the Little Cup variants, just because there's a lot of mons, and just because of the charge damage, pressure, etc. There's a lot of ways you can come back from winning Switch or come back from losing the lead. So, along with that, a lot of these other mons can also do well for you in other cups. For example, Cottonee's good in Little Cup Remix. Not Little Cup Remix. In the original Little Cup, it's also good for the Element Cup. And you can also use Ducklett. Ducklett's good for all around for the Element Cup, as well as it's also good in Open Great League, but I forgot what that other cup, there's a cup where G-Fisk was allowed. I totally forgot about it. But yeah, and it might be useful in other -500 CP cups in the future. But I hope y'all enjoyed the battles again. Do me a huge favor. Please like and subscribe and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I will be streaming again this weekend and possibly Monday, Tuesday, depending on how I feel, but we'll see about that. But I do appreciate y'all. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see y'all on the next video.